National Assembly is urging the Supreme Court to overturn a ruling by the Appellate Court that invalidated the Finance Act of 2023. The appeal, heard today by 7-judge bench led by Chief Justice Martha Koome, is crucial to the government financial operations, with implications that could affect the country's revenue collection and credit ratings. Our very own Brenda Nyongesa followed the court proceedings and filed the following report.
In a virtual hearing before the Supreme Court, the National Assembly and other appellants made a strong case for the reinstatement of the Finance Act 2023. National Assembly lawyer Issa Mansour argued that the adequate public participation was conducted before the Act was passed, contrary to the findings of the Court of Appeal.
Whether Parliament has an obligation, upon conclusion of the public participation exercise, to provide detailed reasons for accepting or rejecting views, and whether failure to give reasons vitiates the legislative process and invalidates the legislation passed.
Lawyer Mansour emphasized that no submission was dismissed even when similar propositions were made by different parties. Additionally, the National Assembly pointed out that further amendments can be made to any bill during the committee stage without the need for another round of public participation.
When this issue was considered by the Court of Appeal, the issue turns on whether Article 10(2) of the Constitution on transparency and accountability was violated in the enactment of the Finance Act. What you'll find in that judgment of the Court of Appeal, in those 20 or 30 paragraphs were considered by the Court of Appeal.
Meanwhile, Senior Counsel Professor Githu Muigai, representing the Attorney General's office, highlighted the potential loss of 214 billion shillings in revenue, which could harm the government's ability to fund its programs and meet its debt obligations should it revert to Finance Act of 2022.
Now that we have found our way to the apex court of our republic, it is our very humble view that this issue ought to be resolved with finality. Because despite the enactment of the Affordable Housing Act, the underlying legal issue remains significant because finance law will continue to be enacted into the future.
The case has drawn significant attention as the respondents, including Busia Senator Okiya Omtata and civil society groups like the Kenya Human Rights Commission, continue to challenge the constitutionality of the Act. The final ruling by the Supreme Court is expected to have far-reaching consequences on the country's fiscal policy. Brenda Nyongesa, KUTV.